Hey there, Lana here. So take a breath for a second. Let's just slow things down. There's been a lot of noise lately, externally, internally, and if you're feeling like you can't quite get your footing or figure out where you are, you're not alone. This episode is a conversation about that space you might be in, the space between what's ending and what hasn't quite started yet, between who you were and who you're becoming, between the old survival programming and a new kind of freedom that doesn't rely on earning or proving. Going to talk about what's closing out, what's coming online, and how to walk through this moment as the new human, not as a perfected version of yourself, but as someone who's choosing to show up differently. So let's start here. If it feels like you're floating between timelines, like something ended, but the new thing hasn't fully landed, that's not a problem. That's actually the truth of what's happening right now. It's not just in your personal life, it's collective. Systems are collapsing. Ways of thinking, working, relating, building, they're losing traction. And even if you don't want to participate in those old ways anymore, it can still feel really weird to be in between. There's grief, there's confusion, there's this push pull between wanting to move forward and just wanting to rest forever. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just not in the old loop anymore, and the new rhythm hasn't fully formed yet. And in that in between space, there's static. Collectively, there's fear being pumped into the field through the news, through economic anxiety, through this sense that everything's about to collapse unless you work harder or figure it all out right now. It's not a coincidence. That fear response keeps us plugged into the old paradigm, proving, hustling, reacting, staying in survival mode. And listen, it is really easy to get pulled back into it when the world is telling you that the sky is falling. But I just want to say this clearly. That fear doesn't mean stop. It doesn't mean retreat. It means there's something trying to hook you again into something you've already outgrown. So, what's actually ending? The pattern of earning your value, the loop of proving your worth, the idea that your freedom has to be bought through burnout, and the belief that productivity equals purpose. These things are unraveling. And yes, it can feel disorienting because for a long time, those patterns gave us structure, but they're not true and they're not sustainable. This is a season of detoxing from those identities without replacing them with a shiny new version of the same thing. And astrologically, that's part of what Uranus moving into Gemini is waking up. This transit hasn't happened in 84 years. Uranus is the disruptor, shaking up old mental patterns, outdated communication styles, inherited thought loops. So, if your brain feels glitchy, if you're not tolerating the same mental stories anymore, if you're getting exhausted by small talk or overstimulation, it's part of the upgrade. It's not just you, it's us. We're shifting out of the mental noise and into something more grounded, more honest, and more aligned with what's real. And that brings me to the body. The body is now the place we source from, not the mind, not the feed, not the external algorithm. The body is the interface, and the more noise there is in the world, the more important it becomes to listen to your own internal signal. You don't need to know everything. You don't need a perfect plan. You need to get in the habit of checking in with your nervous system and asking simple things like, do I feel open or closed right now? Does this feel like truth or pressure? Am I trying to rush into something because I'm scared to be still? That's the new way of navigating. It's not mental, it's embodied. Now let's talk about what's coming online. This isn't just a time of release, it's also a time of recalibration. There's a very real energetic shift happening in the Earth grid right now. more coherence is available, more creativity, more space for authentic timelines to anchor. But here's the thing, it's only accessible if we're in the body. We are all being given more capacity to hold energy, to feel truth, to move with clarity instead of urgency. But it takes practice, it takes patience, and it takes letting go of the old pressure to constantly be doing or producing something just to prove you're worthy. The next 6 months aren't about building from burnout, they're about stabilizing a new rhythm. So, what is the new human? It's not a trend, it's not a perfect version of yourself, it's a way of being. The new human is anchored, not in ideas, but in truth, in the body, in presence. You're not reacting, you're choosing. You're not performing, you're creating. You're not trying to be good or spiritual or successful. You're showing up in integrity. And because of that, your frequency speaks louder than your words. And that's what makes you magnetic. Not hustle, not strategy, coherence. So here's the invitation. You can keep trying to figure out the future, or you can stabilize right now. You can let the fear trick you into playing the old game, or you can remember that you already opted out, and now it's about living that choice, even if it feels unfamiliar. You can listen to your body before you make another move. You can breathe. You can get curious. You can trust what feels true over what feels urgent. This isn't about transcending your humanity. It's about learning how to be human differently. You are not broken. You're becoming. You are not behind. You're right on time. The world may be loud right now, but your signal is still clear. Keep tuning to it. Keep practicing presence. Keep trusting your field. That's how we become the new human. Not later, but now.